If you have a business in Jamaica, tax is going to be one of your biggest issues, especially if you have no idea what to do. So today we're going to be going over just a couple of things that self-employed persons need to take into consideration when they're doing their taxes. Welcome back to my channel, guys. I'm Jamie. Now if you're new, please consider subscribing. And if you're going to subscribe, turn on your post notifications so that way you won't miss when I upload any new videos. I upload videos every Monday and Wednesday on investing, personal finance, and business in general in Jamaica. Now, if these are topics that you like, you can also leave me a thumbs up so I know that you're interested in these topics. We also have the giveaway going on where I plan to give away 10,000 Jamaican dollars to one lucky subscriber once we get to 2,000 subscribers in total. If you need more information on that giveaway, you can just go ahead and check out the description down below. I'm going to leave all the links and the details for the giveaway there. If you want, you can also connect with me on social media. I'm on Instagram at JA_Radcliffe and Twitter at JA_Radcliffe2030. Now, as I said, we're going to be discussing taxes for self-employed person today, so let's get into it. So what we're going to be looking at is how the taxes affect you when you're operating as a sole trader or a business name in Jamaica, and also the types of taxes that you will need to pay, the percentages and so on, and any form of reprieve that you will be getting once you're paying your taxes. Now, as a sole trader, you're going to be needing to pay NIS, NHT, education tax, and income tax depending on how much money you make per year. Now, I say depending on how much you make per year because as a sole trader or a business name, you will stand to benefit from the 1.5 million income tax threshold that is offered by the government. This threshold is the one that persons like me that actually work and get paid a monthly salary benefit from. So as a sole trader, you still get to enjoy this benefit. However, if you're someone that is filing as a sole trader and you're also an employee, you can only benefit from this 1.5 once. So let's say you work for two different jobs. So you have your regular day job and a part-time job. You cannot benefit from the 1.5 million threshold at both jobs, because if you do, then chances to one, you may have to pay back one of them with the Tax Administration of Jamaica. But enough on that. Let's get into the taxes that you will need to pay as a self-employed person in Jamaica. When I did my video on understanding your pay slip, I showed how the NIS portion of your deduction was calculated for someone that is employed to someone else. Now, as a sole trader, what will happen here is that you will need to pay the entire amount. Now, currently, NIS is calculated at between 5.5% and 6% of 1.5 million annually. Now, if you were working for someone, then you would only pay half of this. So 6% of the 1.5 million, you would end up paying 3% as someone employed. But as someone that is self-employed, you will need to pay the entire 6% of this $1.5 million. Now, while the cap is currently $1.5 million, it is slated to increase in the next few years. I'm going to leave a link below for the leaflet from the Tax Administration of Jamaica that shows how they plan to phase in the increases for NIS over the coming years. Next, as a sole trader, you also need to contribute to NHT. Now, when you're contributing to NHT, you're going to be needing to pay 3% of your income over to NHT on a yearly basis. Now, this is different from someone who is employed by someone else, as only 2% of their income is calculated and paid over to NHT. But this is where you're actually going to win over someone that is paid a monthly salary from an employer. As a self-employed person, you can claim what is called capital allowance and also pension contributions when you're paying out NHT. Now, while someone who is employed is able to claim the pension part, they're not able to claim capital allowance. So as an entrepreneur, being able to claim capital allowance and pension is going to reduce your overall tax exposure. Now, personally, what I recommend as a small entrepreneur or sole trader is to also get your pension contributions up. Try to find an approved retirement scheme that is registered with the FSC to start contributing on a yearly basis, because once you contribute your annual amount, this is going to take a huge chunk out of your taxable income for the year as well. So think about it, people, and trust me, it can only be good to have at least a little nest egg that we can fall back on if everything does not go as we plan as entrepreneurs. Education tax is the next thing that you need to pay as a sole trader. Now, just like with NHT, education tax is claimed after you take out capital allowance and your pension contribution. So you can see here how integral pension and capital allowance is in actually helping you to reduce your exposure to taxes on a yearly basis, people. When you're calculating your education tax, you do it at 2% of your annual income less your pension contribution and also your capital allowance. So you can actually go ahead and look into that. Lastly, we have income tax. Now, as we all know, income tax is calculated as 25% of your taxable income. Now, this is great because if income tax was supposed to be taken as 25% of your income, trust me, you get a big hit right there. Now, your taxable income for income tax is calculated after you take out your threshold, your 1.5 million, your capital allowance, as well as your pension contribution. So, I'm going to say it again, people. Try to get your pension contributions up. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a little nest egg that you don't have readily available to draw on. Now, I have been talking about capital allowance. So I have said that capital allowance plays a part in your NHT and also your education tax as well as your income tax. But what is capital allowance? Capital allowance is basically any items that you have bought that will be used in the business for years to come. So it's pretty much fixed assets. For me personally, I'm in the rental business, so one of my fixed assets will be cars. Now, these are the cars that I'm going to use to generate income over the years to come. Now, tax office would not want me to buy a car. Let's say I have a car that costs, say, probably $1 million. They don't want me to just put this car as an expense item and just pretty much wipe out any income that I may have made in the year and then not pay any taxes. So what they do is to actually have capital allowances. Depending on the regime for capital allowance, you can only take a particular portion of the overall cost of the car out on a yearly basis. Now, let's say it's 5 years. You can claim capital allowance on the car over a 5-year period. That would mean that for every year I'm able to lower my tax obligation by $200,000 because I went ahead and put up $1 million to buy a car that is integral in the business. So it's a part of my fixed asset. Now, it's not limited only to cars and things that you use in the business to generate income. Things such as desks, computers, anything like that, fixed asset that you're going to be using for a period of time, you can claim capital allowance on them. So, as I said, tax office wants to ensure that you have something to pay to them at the end of the year. So you can't just come and expense a $1 million car and say that, hey, I paid for this year, so I am going to just take it out. No, it doesn't work like that. Now, while majority of income tax is calculated as 25% of your taxable income, income tax since recently has been done in bands. Now, 1.5 million and lower, you pay zero income tax. Now, between 1.5 million and up to $6 million, you're taxed at 25%. Now, once you hit that 6 million and start going over, people, your income tax band changes again. Now, you stop paying 25% here and you start paying 30% upwards from here. So any monies that you make above $6 million, you're going to be paying 30% on that instead of the 25%. So this is something that you need to take into consideration when you're filing your taxes as well. So hiring a professional to do your taxes is one of the best ways to go, because trust me, I am someone that does accounting, and all of these tax types and different things that come into play when doing taxes in Jamaica, it's a lot to remember. So get a professional so that they can help you to make the right decisions in regards to your taxes and to ensure that you file your taxes correctly, because you don't want to get an assessment from tax office that you have been filing less than you're supposed to be filing. Trust me, they will come after you for that. But if you know you've been filing more, you're not going to hear anything from tax office. The government not going to want to pay you back any money. You know, that much I can guarantee you. Now, while I have been talking a lot about the different capital allowances and income tax thresholds that help to offset your income tax liability, the biggest thing that offsets it is your business expenses. Now, as an accountant, I know that you need to save everything. So it doesn't matter if you went to your mechanic down there and you gave him $1,000 to fix the car. You need to make a note of it, so that way this is a business expense that has to be deducted from the income of the business. So proper record keeping, people, is going to be integral when you are trying to file your taxes. And you will also need everything so that when you find your accountant to do up your taxes, they will be able to make sure that everything is captured. So make a note of everything. If it's even to just have a little bag that once you get your receipts or anything that you spend money on for the business, you just drop it in there. All right. Now, some of us might not be operating a full-fledged business out of, let's say, a storefront and so on. We may be operating it out of our homes. What we need to also do is to know that if you're operating a business out of your home, that business is incurring expenses in your home. So you would need to save your light bills as well, your rent receipts, and allocate some of it. So let's say during the days you have your lights going because of the business, you can allocate, let's say, 50% of your monthly light bill to the business, as well as 50% of your rent, because your business takes up space. There are things in your house that you're doing that is allocated to your business that you could be using personally, but because you have the business, you have to put it there. So think about these things. It's not just because you're living at your house. Once your business is going on at your house, you may be able to deduct some more expenses here. All right? Now, as I said, filing taxes in Jamaica is very hard, but having at least some understanding of the process will help you out a lot. So be prepared that you may need a professional to help you out, but at least whatever they come with, you know that certain things need to look a certain way. And that is what we're trying to achieve here. Thanks for watching, guys. So these are some of the things that you need to know about your taxes as a sole trader. Now, personally, I recommend paying your taxes because recently, or in the past couple of years, Tax Administration has upgraded their system. They're using a new system now that, trust me, it will find anything. It's one big data mining tool. So it's not like one time where tax office have a hard time tracking you down and all of these things. That is going to change soon, and very soon, people. Now, if you like the video, please just hit that thumbs up. You can also subscribe if you want. And until next week, people, bye-bye.